Hey everyone, Haley Blackburn in Student Academic Success, and this is a speed build of my pitch deck. And so the first thing I like to do in building a new slide pitch deck is think about loosely what's my roadmap, what are all the things that I know I'm going to want to talk about. And then from there I start really building out what is the outline. So I said, okay, now I need to talk about my goals. I'm just dropping in quick thoughts of like what I might do with that goal, but I'm not spending too much time at this stage. You can see it really is, let me organize my ideas. And so after I had my, goals, knew I was going to do that, knew I was going to want to talk about forward-looking projects. Now I started doing some of that, building out. And at this stage, obviously this video is sped up like times 10. So it took me about like 10 real minutes to get through that outlining process. But now, actually, what I'm doing is a technique that I really love as a way to just add a little bit of motion into my slides without using tons of predictable transitions, not too much flash, just like a nice little bit. It reminds me of a storybook. So what I'm doing is setting out, okay, no, this is going to be my future project. So let me just get that text on the screen and I'll worry about heavy formatting a little bit later. You can see I've changed my mind. Actually, I don't want this to be that. Maybe I want to say something else. So one thing I love about speed builds like this is you can kind of see my editing process in action where I'm like, what am I going to say? And that's part of it, is just kind of figuring it out. So what I'm doing now is actually building what will end up being the way that the Morph animation and the Morph Transition recognizes it. So I'm kind of building out each of the story pages, if you will, by inserting these symbols that are going to be kind of the indicators that are going to move, and building out each one of those is a new shape that ends up moving. And now I'm putting, okay, what is going to be kind of the big picture here? Great. Now everybody knows all three of these pages are going to be my next projects. And so now I'm just lining everything up so that way when it animates, each slide looks the way I want it to kind of move into place. And so now I'm just kind of fixing that up and was doing a little bit of testing on it, and you can see it breezes through. And now I'm just doing some kind of final things. And so that morph animation, that morph transition, love that effect. And I think it's really cool. Okay, so now that I got that key thing done, I'm just outlining additionally, more pieces of the actual plan itself, and decided to make sections. And so the sections is what allows me to do like a zoom kind of transition. So that way I know I can just jump down to the different goals, and as I'm maybe presenting to my boss, my stakeholders, if they want to go back and spend more time or revisit a certain goal, we'll be able to really easily do that. And so I love the zoom transitions because of that. Here, I totally forgot that you can't directly link a zoom to a symbol. You have to put the zoom section in first and then change the symbol. So now I went back, refixed them, and kind of changed the the color scheme again to match with what I wanted to do. And here I am just testing it out. Always a good idea to test out your zoom transitions. Make sure it's going to work the way that you actually want it to work. And so now I'm kind of working on the idea of the roadmap. And so again, I put those bullet points in more as a here's what I think I should talk about and introduce, but not necessarily what the final is going to be. So see, I'm waffling quite a bit about how I want to do it. I know I want to introduce them to the idea of what are community relations for us, why am I presenting to you, and then kind of the three specific strategies, PR strategies that I used for our community relations strategy and tab. And so I was kind of outlining there, just doing a little bit of cleanup, changing the lingo, changing the words, all that kind of good stuff that we like to do. Here we decided that it'd be nice to emphasize the 2030 vision of our university and make it very clear to people that I'll be presenting to how we are aligning with the larger university goals and mission. And so again, I did a nice morph effect to make the arrow look like it's moving across. And so then the rest of this build, I really am just, layering in the content, the information, kind of breaking it into what are the different goals and doing some of that formatting. So I'm going to, hop off the narration and put on some music and, enjoy the rest of this quick speed build. Overall, this presentation did take me about 90 minutes to put the whole slide deck together, and I'll continue, tweaking it. I will say at the very end, my computer ran out of disk space, and so it actually stopped recording for a second. But otherwise, you pretty much see the entire presentation being built. All right, keep in mind the biggest thing with presentations, they are only valuable because of you. So don't ever let your slides overshadow you. Don't let your slides be something people can just read and understand without you being there, because otherwise, what is the point? And don't be afraid to put more slides so there's less information per slides. All right, let's speed build.